Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of not only Bavon, Life in the Woods, which I have shirked my responsibilities in this town for a while, truth be told, and also it is another episode of BBQ&A!
BBQ&A!
Sticky Pet's here next to me, and...
Is that a lighting glitch on those blocks there?
Yes.
Or is that... okay.
It's just the way it renders it, I think.
Okay.
It's the same
Weird.
material. It sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a real shame.
It does a bit. Anyway, we're back with more of your questions. We're sorry that we haven't done this in a while. I've been traveling to England.
Yes, you have.
So today we're sat in the same room right next to each other. Aww.
Which is nice.
He's very nice.
Very nice.
And yeah, let's get to it. We have a bunch of questions. Some are silly, some are a little more serious, and we'll try to get to as many as we can today.
Before we start, we should say we do want more questions from you. So, again, yes, some silly, please, and some sensible. We are here to... What's the word?
Give life advice.
Give out our knowledge.
Spread the love.
Yeah.
You could eat that lettuce and then you wouldn't be so hungry.
You get nothing from lettuce. It's like
half, but still, you could just eat a whole bunch of it. Nom 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 nom.
fish by poop. I'm collecting. Hoarding.
Like a little bunny. Alright.
So,
the first question is from Sophia, and it is, what 3 words would you use to describe the other? And I guess really the question is, what do you mean by, like, am I describing this to somebody who's never met him? Am I describing to my parents what Badger is like? Am I describing to a police sketch artist? Basically the words...
wheat growing out of it.
I would say British is probably one of the words, especially now that I'm here in England with you. Your Britishness is a lot more pronounced when you're around other people like you.
But
do the lily pads have flowers on them?
Yeah.
Ah!
I like the roots at the bottom. That's pretty
oh, that's so pretty. Anyway, I would say probably British, charming.
Hung? No, what?
And I was gonna go with like cuddly, loving, warm, comforting. Makes my heart feel all warm and snuggly.
Yeah. Well, I was good. This is too lovey-dovey, isn't it?
Sorry. Wheat. Judge, and 2 of them.
Nose.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. I would say small.
For me? Small? Okay.
And cute.
Cute.
And tooty.
And tooty.
Yes.
Thank you, darling.
Because she is a bit...
Thanks, sweetheart. That's what I like to hear.
Well, I think you've got to balance, you know, the squishy, lovey-dovey stuff with some cold, hard reality. So I'm in trouble now.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go with Windy Pops for Mr. Badger then.
Well, that's 2 words.
No, it's hyphen, so it's 1 word.
Okay.
Alright. Next question is from Marvu.
Babu.
If you were to choose a spirit animal for each other, what would they be and why? I mean, I feel like...
Are we talking about Harry Potter? What's his
Oh, yeah! Let's do, Patronus.
Patronus.
Well, you could just be a badger. I mean, that's obvious. That's too easy. So...
I don't... What... I don't... What...
What is a spirit animal? I don't know. I'm gonna go with badger.
What does the Patronus signify? I mean, what generates it?
I don't know. Your happiness?
It's your happiness.
I don't know. Something loving? A cat? Or it might be a cat for you. You're really big on cats.
Well, I was going to say yours is going to be a very sleepy kitten.
Oh, yeah, you're a sleepy kitten. Wait, go say hi to Mrs. Muffin Tops.
Mrs. Muffin Tops. Mitten Tops.
Mitten Tops, I'm sorry. It should be Muffin Top.
Muffin Tops is something.
Yes, I know. Okay, next question, also from Marvu, is...
Butt Stallion.
If you were a porn star, what would your porn star name be? And I think Badges would be Butt Stallion Fatty Cakes.
Butt Stallion Fatty Cakes. That makes me sound like a gay porn star. No, I think the porn star name is the name of your first pet.
And the name of the
street you first lived on.
See, I don't know the name of the street I very first lived on, but the next street I lived on, let's say, so I would be Zelda Hawthorne.
Zelda Hawthorne. Wow.
It sounds like a novelist name. Like, that should be my pen, my fake name.
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling has Robert Galbraith, and I'm Zelda Hawthorne.
It'd be some sort of quite gothic.
Hmm.
Maybe, dare I say, vampire.
My, young YA novels about vampires. You need to keep playing the game.
Sorry,
Don't just look at me.
I'm interacting with you.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Mine is Sam Queen, which
Sam Queen. That's a good.
for a porn star that could go the wrong way. Specifically Sam Queens.
What else do we need? You should make some barbecue.
I'm looking to.
I'll keep building the house.
Always organising. That's what. Oh, logs. That's what I was looking for. Looking for logs. Yeah. Logs. Yes, we do. Look, here's a big supply of logs.
Hellbark.
Well, so yes, but again, Sam Queen could also be like some private dick. What?
Yes, it could be. You need to
eat. Shut up with the eating.
You do. You've got a little bit of fish. You should make some barbecue. I'm just saying.
You need to cook on the barbecue.
We have cows. Go breed them and kill them and cook them. You can just eat the raw fish.
Fresh morning.
Curry rice?
Pick up the juice out.
Oh, and then just pick a bunch of apples. Yeah, that works. Okay. Anyway, next question is from Bree Zaps, and it's: a tiger comes into your house. You have glue, a stick, and a pillow. What would you use? And my answer is the door, because I would run away. Or possibly the telephone to call the police.
But the door and the telephone are not on that list. Now, I think this is some sort of logical puzzle.
Like, you glue the stick to the pillow and then use it to hit the tiger?
Now, I know that lion tamers use
Whips.
chairs
or
stools because the lions have difficulty focusing on more than one thing, so you wave 4 things at them.
I didn't know that.
You see, I'm good to know. So I don't know if they stick. What use would glue be for a tiger?
I think the answer is the door.
The door is not in the list.
Doesn't have to be on the list.
Of course it does.
I'm in my house, therefore anything that is in my house is also
in your house?
on the list. It says a tiger comes into your house.
Okay. Who says your house has doors?
Well, then I use whatever entryway the tiger came in through.
Maybe it teleported in.
Okay, well then I teleport. You know, this we're not answering this question anymore.
No,
Thank you, Bree. Lovely question. Please,
be more specific.
Yes, send us another question and be more specific as what do you mean by what do you use? Because I would use my brain and get out of there.
Oh god, now we're in trouble.
I have 2 master's degrees! We're in trouble. Alright. This next question is from Kyle.
Stick.
This next question is from Kyle, and it says, what has been your most favorite video or series to record? So a slightly more serious question. For me, it's been the building game. Hands down. I mean, I've really enjoyed the ladies' UHCs, so those 2 are probably pretty closely tied, but the building game has just been an unbelievable amount of fun, and I think it's been with some really great people, and yeah. I think I've made, I don't know, better friendships as a result of that, which again is not to say that other things haven't been great, but the building game has just been the most silly, ridiculous fun that I've had playing Minecraft in a very long time.
Building game is very enjoyable, that is for sure. It's I think it's partly tied on that. I really enjoy doing the Battle Royale stuff. I really enjoy playing that. sit here and play episodes of that without recording, just because I enjoy playing it so much. There's not a lot of games I do that for anymore, because you always think, if I'm not recording it, then I'm losing revenue or whatever, which is a very sad way of looking at things these days. But that's what making game videos does to you these days.
I'm lucky because the building games are consistently my most viewed videos.
They are good, and yeah, I mean the building game. You play it, you have fun. You pretty much just dump it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of editing that goes into it.
At all. Whereas I spent pretty much most of the day editing.
Oh my god, yes. One
episode of Armour Battle Royale today, but I love it. I absolutely love it. So, and I like it gives me a bit more freedom to do some stuff on that editing, which I don't normally do. So that is also a fun part of that. But yeah, the building game is pretty good.
I love that building game.
And UHC, of course.
Yeah, like I don't think of UHC as sort of a traditional thing that I record, because it's so intense. It takes so much out of you that it's not fun to record. Like it is, but it's not the same.
I look
kind
forward
of fun.
to it,
yeah,
and it is hella stressful.
Yeah, it is hella. Look at you saying hella. But yeah, it is hella stressful to do a UHC. It's like 3 straight hours of just sweating.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realise how difficult it is
until you actually do it. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so next question, which is kind of on that a little bit. So this is from Charlotte, and she asks, would you rather be stuck in an elevator with 1,000 spiders, or be in the Hunger Games, namely the 50th annual / second quarter quell with double the tribute? So now, I don't know if you've seen or read the Hunger Games. The idea is that you would be in a battle to the death with a bunch of other kids.
Well, I've seen Battle Royale. So
yeah, so you can go with Battle Royale. That's the same sort of thing. And I'm going to go with the spiders.
Really?
Oh, because in one of the situations...
What are the house spiders, which is the size you really don't like?
I mean, if they're poisonous spiders, that would almost assuredly kill me unless I was able to squish all 1,000 before one of them could bite me. It's a question of life or death. If these are spiders that death could happen, like if it's like, okay, you either squish them all in time, and the thing is, like 1,000 spiders, depending on how big they are, you just couldn't squish them. There would be a bloody mass of dead spiders. So in that case, I would go with the Hunger Games. But other than that, I'm going to go with the not dying option, which I think is the spiders. Like, I'm not
supposed to go die in Hunger Games.
There's like 49 other people actively trying to kill me.
So?
I'm smart. I'm not, a killer.
You use your brain.
I don't even win Minecraft Hunger Games that often. In fact, I don't think I've ever won the Minecraft survival games. Because anytime we've been in the final 2, you've killed me.
That's not my fault. You're not very good with the fish. Yeah, I think it really does depend on what the spiders are.
Fair enough.
Me.
So, Charlotte, if you'd like to write in and clarify what kind of spiders, I think we could probably give you a better answer.
If they're like little money spiders, then...
Yeah, we saw that little teeny red spider at dinner tonight. I wouldn't mind 1,000 of those. That'd be fine. Yeah. Maybe they're like friendly spiders.
Yeah, 1,000 is quite a lot, though.
I know it's a lot, but if they're tiny, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's not fun.
How big's the room?
It's an elevator.
Elevator. How big's the elevator?
Yeah, is this like a tiny little elevator, or is it one of those
elevator?
like yeah?
Because I've been in them that you can barely fit 3 people in.
And I've been in ones that you can drive cars into.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This is what we do. We pick apart your questions.
It's like making a deal with the devil.
bajandblue@gmail.com. Alright.
But I would quite like to do Hunger Games.
You would die.
Says who?
Says statistics. Which actually ties into the next question.
Your statistics thing just...
Look at that. I did a good transition. I should replace beep on the podcast. So this actually isn't quite the next question, but it was the next 2 questions from Ozzy. Hi, Ozzy. He asks, and this is another serious question. He says, Badge, you mentioned you used to run a small business. Do you mind sharing a bit about that? How do you go about setting it up from a practical, logistical point of view? What % of money did you have set aside already? What % did you borrow? Practically, what's it like setting up a business? Should I play while you answer?
No. I think he's given me a little bit too much credit for that. I'm self-employed, but you can, certainly in this country, trade as a self-employed person without having to go through. In fact, I spoke to a accountant about setting up, a company name and all that sort of stuff. And he was like, "Well, don't." He says it's not really worth bothering about until you're earning a certain amount of money. No, he could have been feeding me a load of bollocks. It could have changed, whatever. But at the time, he said it was best just to, do it as yourself. And I think when you're filing your tax, you file it as yourself, and then you can put trading as, and then your company name as well. It all depends on how big it becomes. If you start doing like a large company, then you start registering for VAT and stuff like that. But again, he's Australian, so I don't know if that's relevant for him.
He's a doctor, so.
Well, that's also true. Well, you might want to start saying practice.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah, maybe that's exactly what he's doing. But again, I think you're giving me far too much credit for what it was. I just, at the time, I think I was made redundant twice in 2 years when the economy sort of went belly up. And one thing I didn't really want to do was claim unemployment. So what I did was, use my skills to get out there and make my own money, do my own private work. It's not an easy job. I'll say that for sure. There's a lot of self-discipline needed to work from home for yourself. It's a hard thing to do because there are a lot of distractions.
Hello.
Out there. But
and they aren't all as cute as I am.
they're not all as cute as you. No, that's right. Some of them are daytime TV. And indeed the internet. But I think if you're going to do that, you need to speak to an accountant. You need to speak to people who know a little bit more than I do. To be fair, I'm not an expert by a long shot. And what was the second part of his question? Setting it up as a practical logistic point of view. Again, because I traded as myself, I didn't really have to go about registering sort of company names or stuff like that, trademarks. I mean, Good's been registering Minecraft for trademarks and stuff like that, and he spent thousands of dollars going through solicitors and stuff like that. It's once you start going the legal route, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy. The worst bit is doing tax. Taxes suck bottom, and you cannot get away from them. And they do self-assessments in the UK. You can do it online, and it's actually pretty good. It's relatively easy to do. Because I'm sure I probably miss out some things I could probably be claiming for. But yeah, I like to try and keep it fairly simple. And I probably overpaid if anything. But it's good. It's relatively easy to do online, and you don't pay somebody hundreds of pounds a year to do it for you.
I have to say that, speaking of taxes, so my school doesn't withhold taxes from my, stipend that I get paid as, a living stipend. And so if you don't pay estimated taxes, you end up paying a lot of money all at once at the end of the year, plus a penalty for doing it late. And that's terrible. Like, I never realized how much I appreciated having my employer take taxes out until I all of a sudden had to pay thousands of dollars all at once. That's
when you're self-employed, you will find you pay less tax than if your tax is paid through work generally, because of the way it's calculated, and you can start claiming stuff.
Yeah. So like because I partially have a job as as doing YouTube, I can actually write off when I fly out to PAX, I could write that off as a business expense because I'm going out to promote myself.
Yeah. So any PC upgrades you get, you can take those out. I was taking, I got an allowance for fuel because I used to do a lot of freelance stuff, contracting for other companies and stuff. So I think it was 40p a mile or something, which this has been 40p a mile for about 3 decades, whereas the petrol price has trebled. But that helps a little bit, and so you can start claiming a lot back. So economically speaking, it is good. My national insurance is a lot cheaper as well, which is something I don't know if they have national insurance in Australia. I suppose they
not
must
necessarily asking for himself. Maybe he's just curious. No. Okay, so then the next thing he wanted to know, Ozzy wants to know how I ended up getting into statistics. And I think I've talked about this before, but basically, I got into statistics because I started off doing math. And so when I was in college, I did maths.
Math, not meth.
Math. And I actually declared, because at my school you had to declare as a freshman what you wanted to study for the rest of your time, which is very premature. And then the summer after my freshman year,
it's very difficult, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, no, it was not. I was not a fan of that. And I just declared math because, I have family who do math and stuff like that, and so I was like, well, whatever, I'll just declare it. But I didn't intend to stay in it, and that summer I ended up taking a probability class and really liking it, and then it was very difficult, but it was much more enjoyable than any of the math classes I'd taken. I don't particularly like theory, I like application, and so that's how I got into statistics, and then I ended up in biostatistics because if statistics, there's math, there's applied math, then there's statistics, and then there's biostatistics. Because biostatistics is like applied statistics, which is applied math, which is applied math, so yeah. So that's how I ended up getting into statistics, and it basically was something that I was reasonably good at, and something that I could make a lot of money doing, and that's actually part of the reason, because I did classics quite a lot. I basically got a minor in classics in Roman history, but
nobody wants that.
Nobody wants to pay you, especially not when the economy tanks right when you graduate. So what are you going to do with a degree in classics? Not a whole lot. What are you going to do with a degree in statistics? Teacher. A lot. So that's... I have Oakwood if you need some. Come here. Right here. Actually, I don't want to give you all of that. Hang on.
Oh my.
Can I have some of that?
My.
Can I show you a couple logs? Thank you. Alright. Okay, so next question is, so this is for me, and this is from Reed. Now he asked me this on YouTube, and I asked him to send it into the question, into the email, into this BBQ&A. So Reed, I'm sorry it's taken me this long to answer.
What's the email address for everybody?
bajandblue@gmail.com.
Ah, yeah.
But he's basically said, can you give to somebody who will be a postgrad in September? How do I schedule my schoolwork and game time so I don't end up falling behind? And how do I prepare for finals? Woo! How to be a good student.
All for you, yeah.
This is my jam. I mean, basically,
nerd up.
How do you balance both? Well, let me just turn off the graphics. My basic thing is schoolwork always comes first. I will never play a game, I'll never do something if I don't already have my schoolwork ready and done. It just, like, because if you start saying, oh, it's okay, I'll play tonight and I'll record something, and I'll catch up tomorrow, then you can start running into problems where you end up getting behind, and so you can just never allow yourself that. And so I basically never allow myself that. Look, I'm standing still because I'm talking and not playing. But it's very much about self-discipline, and it's also, to a certain extent, about setting a schedule, which is that I am very scheduled in the work that I do, and moreover, in the, like, when I'm recording stuff. And it's actually been helpful to have a YouTube channel, because it allows me to not play too much. Because I'll say to myself, okay, I need to record something tonight so I can post a video tomorrow. But that means, okay, I need to spend 10 minutes of doing prep work for a video, and then I need to spend 20 minutes recording, and that's 30 minutes, and that's it. And that's all the time that I'll spend actually playing the game, and everything else is doing work. But because that then allows me to play, because I want to. Like, obviously I'd rather be playing Minecraft than studying. It's just, I mean, that's not always true. Sometimes when I'm really excited about my work, I don't really want to play a game, but for the most part, if it's just usual homework or studying, I would much rather play Minecraft than do my work. And so to be able to say, okay, well, I'm going to play for 30 minutes and that's it. Or we have a building game scheduled tonight. That's going to take about an hour. That is it. That is the only gaming I'm going to allow myself to have. And it's nice because it's scheduled in, and so I feel like, okay, this is something that I need to do because I need to keep my channel up. And, you know, at the same time, it doesn't get away from me. It's just, you know, we're going to play a building game, and that's all. And what are you doing?
I'm looking for things.
Okay, drafting compass.
What the hell do you need that for?
No idea. So,
Screw gun.
I mean, basically like, I like to keep things sort of scheduled, and that's what's been most useful for me. The other thing is just grad school is a lot more work. You're basically having school be your job, and you have to treat it as such. You have to just sort of get used to the fact that you're going to spend a lot of time doing work, and you just have to be able to say, okay, for the next 3 days, I'm not going to do anything fun. I'm just going to study, and just get into that mode. And what I often do is I go into campus, and I sit in my office, because, you know, I can go online in my office, but it's not quite as conducive an environment. And I have office mates, and if they catch me playing Candy Crush, they will absolutely, you know, make fun of me for that. So a lot of times it's useful to go in and just be sort of held accountable by your classmates. And then I also say working in groups if you have actual coursework. There's a certain amount that you need to do yourself because you need to have mastery of the material, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that you are a one-man island. I work basically every assignment that I do, I spend a certain amount of time working on by myself, I spend a certain amount of time working on with my classmates, and then if we can't solve that, we go to the TA or the professor and we ask for advice. So it's sort of a three-stage process, which is you work on it by yourself, you work on it with your friends, and then you get any help that you might need. And so the idea is that by the time you actually go and ask the TA, by the time you actually go and ask the professor, you have a much better idea of what you know and what you don't know and where you're stuck. Yeah, but other than that, grad school's awesome. It's the best.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of what I was saying about self-control and self-discipline.
Yes.
Which is something you tend to need to get as you get older anyway. And if you're treating it as a job, then I suppose theoretically you can schedule 9 to 5 for that.
And some people do that. Some people, you know, they have very specific times that they spend on work and very specific times that they spend on fun.
Yeah, and you've got to have fun as well.
Oh yeah, you gotta have fun. But like, I like having fun with the people from with my friends from grad school. Now, partially that's because that's really mostly the friends that I have where I go to grad school.
Oh,
nerds. And so it's nice because you're hanging out, but also you're kind of sort of talking about work sometimes, and so you're always sort of thinking about things. I have a lot of epiphanies when I'm not actually thinking about work. I solved one of my problems. Waiting to get on an airplane. Like, it wasn't coming to see you, Badge. It was coming back from San Francisco. But I was just sitting, I was washing my hands in the airport, and I went, oh my god, I figured it out. And,
the same thing happens to me, to be fair.
No, I mean, I think it happens to everybody. But the point is that if you're spending all of your time focusing on your work, you'll run into issues. You have to take some time off. It's just, you have to. So, yeah. So that was kind of a long-winded answer. I have a tendency to wax poetic when it comes to... Are you...
I'm trying to work out how you make these things.
Oh, so those are carpenter's blocks, and then on top of the carpenter's blocks, you can put another thing. So, like, for example, if you look at our house, I've got snow on top of...
So are these carpenter's blocks?
On the bottom, I think.
Pressure pads?
No, I think it's just...
The black stuff I'm talking about.
Oh, what those... Oh! Well, break it and find out what it is.
What do you think I'm looking at?
Just break it. Just break his house.
Well, I was going to, but you asked me what.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I fully support you breaking Vaughn's house. See? Carpenter blocks. There we go. Okay. Sorry. Next question.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay, now these are the last questions, and they're all from this guy Shortwind, possibly girl. Sorry if you're a girl. So the first question is basically for us, I guess sort of for both of us, which is how far back can we trace our family lineage? So how far back into the, like, when did your family originally make it to the Americas? And what? Phedran. Discrack. And then for Badge, do you know if your family was always from the English Isles, or can you trace it back to the European continent? So for me, my family, at least my dad's side of the family, goes back to the pre-revolution. And we know that because there are documents of my family buying land in South Carolina using British pounds. So that would have been pre-revolution. Prior to that, we know Wales and Ireland, so Scots-Irish. But other than that, I don't entirely remember off the top of my head. And then my mom's half Italian, half German, and fairly recent to this country. So, yeah.
My father, in particular, has been tracing family back, because that's what
he does.
Parents do when they get to a certain age. About their family. We can go back quite a few hundred years. There is talk that one of my father's this is the wrong way. One of my father's relatives was responsible for designing a royal carriage back in Regency times, I think, but I don't know if they ever actually formulated that. Had you asked me this before I'd moved, I would have had a large folder next to me which has everything that they know. However, that is now in a box in storage somewhere, so I can't answer with any great degree of clarity, but certainly a few hundred years.
Shooting me. From where?
If not longer. It gets a bit difficult with my mother's side because she is Welsh and has a fairly common Welsh name. I'm sleeping, by the way.
Oh, sorry, hang on. There's a thing trying to kill me. I can just log in a second.
Good.
There we go, now it's it.
And then at some point in the relatively recent past, by which I mean a couple hundred years, one of their family married another family, completely unrelated, I hasten to point out, with the same surname. And that starts making things very tricky to follow. When 50% of the country's got the same name, it's like it gets a bit difficult, but they're working on it, and they've got lots of information. I don't think it's necessarily gone back a massive distance, but what they have got is very detailed.
Alright, so next question from Shortwind is, if you could live anywhere, would you prefer the city life or a nice country setting? So right now we are sort of in the country side of England.
This is
would you say?
ideal for me.
And it's pretty rad, I have to say. I'm quite enjoying it.
We are in the home counties, so we are a good distance for places like London. We've got other cities like Reading, Guildford, and places like that, which are decent-sized towns. So if you want to get your fill of shops,
yeah,
by things, see people get crushed in the crowd. You have that opportunity. However, it's very green, as you pointed out today.
It is very green here, and there are lots of like horses and nice places to walk. You can see helicopters.
See the Queen.
Get to see the Queen. So it's very nice here. I like cities, and I'm not trying to like rag on city life because you know living in Boston is quite city. But I think I would prefer a place like this where you're within driving distance of really anything you need. But far enough away that you're not really bothered.
Yeah, it really is best of both worlds at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm really enjoying being here. And we're gonna go into London, but I just, for example, I think New York City would be the worst place, like, on Earth to live. I mean, I'm sure, like, Shanghai is probably, you know, or those big, huge, crazy cities in China, but, or other places, but...
Yeah, cities are noisy, cities are dirty.
I'm not a city girl. I'm just not.
I couldn't live on a desert island. Well, I suppose I could live on a desert island, but it's tricky. See, I'm an only child, and part of me really likes that sort of not loneliness, but soloness. But I need people. Who is it? There was somebody said that. I think it was Stephen Fry. They said they liked being alone, but knowing there's somebody else that they can go and talk to if they need it.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, so it's like it's nice to live in a house with somebody else, but not actually necessarily have to deal with them all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and I kind of quite like that, and I think city life is kind of the opposite of that. It's like occasionally you can get to zone out. I mean, I lived in Leeds, you know, for many years, and there's bus routes and you know all that sort of gubbins. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I know what you mean, and I agree. Alright, and then last question, totally Minecraft related. What are your opinions on having more options for mobs? And I think he elaborated to say, in fact, let me pull up that email.
More options for mods.
Oh no, we had one more question, sorry. You know what, we'll answer that question last. Let's have a quick question for Emily, which is, who or what is my Minecraft skin for blue? And that is, or your Minecraft skin. I'm, here, Badge, why don't you take a look at me? Oops. So you can take a look at my skin. It's Samus Aran from Metroid. Except blue. Badge made it blue. So it's sort of the, like, Zero suit. I think there's actually, like, a name for this. But not quite.
Oh, you got your thing on.
I got my cape on, yeah. But it's Samus. And the idea is I wanted to have a female character. But that wasn't, girly looking. Which is why I don't have a bikini on in the Ladies Summer UHC. Because that's just not who I am. I wanted a badass warrior skin. I'd love to have, like, Brienne of Tarth. But it ended up being Samus. So, that's it. And then... What?
She's not very girly.
Yeah. Samus is at least kind of girly when she gets that armor off. I'd love to, like, make cosplay armor for Samus out of, like, you know, whatever stuff they make that out of. Anyway, then the last question that Emily wanted to ask was, what was it? Sherlock, Doctor Who, or Supernatural? Sherlock.
Well, Supernatural is for girls and gays.
Well, that's a bit racist.
That's not racist at all, dude.
It's a little bit. Fine, it's homophobic.
No, it's girls are a race. No, it is. It's two hunky guys running around being hunky.
Yeah, they were a bit hunky, aren't they?
I know that's Paul's other half's favourite.
Oh yeah, Andrea really likes it, doesn't she?
Yeah, Paul's dream 2000. We know.
I'm sure Paul's loves it.
We know what side of the team he bats for.
Ho-ho!
Oh yeah. So Doctor Who or Sherlock?
Sherlock. There's just no question. Sherlock is so good.
Sherlock is very, very good, but
I don't sit around waiting for the new season of Doctor Who. I sit around waiting for the new season of Sherlock.
No, I mean, this Doctor Who is so much better than...
Well, sure. I'm not saying it's...
The thing is, I've grown up on Doctor Who, and you haven't.
My dad used to watch it when I was little, but I was too afraid.
It was really bad. I need some more black stone.
God, Sherlock. 100% Sherlock. No question. Sherlock. Did I mention Sherlock?
Sherlock. Do you like Sherlock?
I do. You know, so my mom started watching it, and she said to me, she was like, why do people think Benedict Cumberbatch is attractive? He's really not.
Don't go for the Benedict Cumberbatch again.
What? What was that?
Don't go for your Benedict Cumberbatch is
well, no, but the thing is about, it's not, the thing is, by the time you're done watching Sherlock, you're like, yeah, alright, I can see it. Because he's just it's such an attractive character.
Oh, he's got an interesting face.
He does. He has
an interesting face, and I can see that attraction. As I said before, I like people with interesting faces.
Anyway, I think we've answered that
Doctor
question.
Who's great and everything, but it's not super fantabuloso like some people seem to make it out it is.
I think Sherlock is super fantabuloso.
Yeah, Sherlock is an amazing program. I like. You see, I nearly fell down a big hole there. I'm a fan of the original Sherlock Holmes books, the actual Conan Doyle books.
Oh yeah, me too.
That is my Desert Island book choice for sure. I used to have a really nice copy of it in 1930s. Copy of it was really good. Oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. This is lignite. I wanted back stuff. But the way they've incorporated all the modern stuff,
it's so good.
And poisonous. It's also, funnily enough, written by the same guy that does a lot of the Doctor Who anyway. So.
Well, there you go.
He's been very prolific. He also does League of Gentlemen, which...
League of Gentlemen?
Yeah.
I've heard of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is Alan Moore. Oh, there's a new one and I didn't read it! No, my dad had it and I didn't read it! Oh, can we go to a comic book store?
No.
Can we go to one in London? I gotta get my dad a comic book.
Yeah.
My dad, quote unquote. Except really it's me, and really we're not gonna get it. I'm just gonna read it in the store.
When we were in London last year, when it was the London meet after the Minecon.
It was like 2 years ago.
Well, it was the year before last now, technically. They were all in the pub, and it was baking hot in that pub. It was absolutely steaming. Gooden had like the sweat pouring off him, and it was shouty and loud. And I went outside with Eep's husband, and we sat outside in Leicester Square for a bit. And then we went for a wander down. What's it called? There's like a sort of a musey, shoppy place. It's quite trendy. And we found Forbidden Planet at the end, and we were standing in...
Forbidden Planet's not a comic book store anymore, though.
Well, we were standing outside Forbidden Planet anyway, for want of a better story.
Yeah. Well, it used to be, because I remember back when I was little and we came to London, my dad and I would always go to Forbidden Planet, but it's not really about comics anymore. There are better ones.
I'm sure there are.
Sorry, just to be a nerd.
And we went and stood looking in the window of that, all the funny things. It always amazes me that people spend so much money on these figurine stuff. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That is completely utterly illogical, isn't it?
I know, isn't that weird? Anyway, the last question from Shortwind was asking us about mobs, which is basically... Let's see what he actually wrote. He said, what are your opinions on having more options for mods? Specifically, should mobs, zombies, creepers be able to spawn closer to the players? As like a config option, should mobs be able to climb ladders? Is a 24-block despawn silly or basically an exploit? And most importantly, shouldn't mobs have better AI? They are still really stupid and currently bugged. Not detecting players that are more than 5 blocks above and below, etc., etc. And I just want to say, before talking about the new mobs, for example, that this has happened in DBZ, which is that the mobs follow a specific AI path, so there are those AI zombies, and you can exploit that, and people are saying you can create, like, basically a set of stairs up that the new zombies will follow, and they'll end up, you could basically just create, it's not quite a proc tunnel, it's more like a proc stair, and then people can shoot down on them, and you can hit them with your sword, and I think that, yeah, that's a problem, because it goes against the spirit of that game, but people are still definitely going to exploit it. That is a lot of creepers, holy cow.
Yeah, there's a few flaws in this thing. Quite a lot of them can climb stairs. Oh, sorry, ladders.
Really? What can climb ladders?
Oh, creepers can.
Creepers can climb... You know, I feel like I've learned this a number of times, and each time I'm still impressed.
Yeah, we had it on video a while back. We were playing something, I can't remember what it was, and Mum was following us downstairs. And, you know, the mobs have got a lot smarter from what they were.
Yeah.
Yes, they need work still. I think passive mobs need a lot of work as well, because trying to get a cow or whatever back to your base is a freaking nightmare.
Yeah.
They are very stupid.
It's a pain in the butt.
And there's obviously some rules going on, but if you just look at the screen now...
Yeah. Kind of a dirt.
He's trying to do something, but we don't know what. I mean, pathing AI is notoriously tricky anyway. I mean, you look at sort of Half-Life games, and they've got nodes for AI, which is basically an invisible rail network, and you've got key points that say you can go left or right here, and this is a hiding place, and good God, it's cat frenzy down there. And this is still written in Java, which is a pretty poopy old language. You go fancy keeping one of his beds. Oh, the one with a bad duvet cover.
Yep.
There you go. So, I mean, full credit to Dillabone, he's doing a great job. Yes, there needs to be more.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this because you gave us quite a long list. Should mobs be able to spawn close to the player? No. No, I don't like that.
I mean, it would be nice if you could set it, if you wanted to make the game harder.
There's alright, we can talk about realism. People complain, we start bringing realism, you say, oh yes, we are working through a portal to the end zone. But there's a suspension of disbelief, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay, I know this is not real, but when things start popping out of the air in front of you, then that kind of takes you out of the zone you're in, this game world. And I think that's not... Oh, when blocks get placed on top of plants, that's...
Yeah, that's not very realistic.
No. You see, I quite like some things in this. Like, I like this farming mechanic where you right-click the plant and you harvest it and then it grows again, instead of having to dig the whole bloody thing up. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
That is good. It's something that should be... I think there's a lot of mods and stuff that they could quite easily incorporate into the game. Give some guys a bit of cash, because God knows they can afford it. Yeah. And bring some more stuff into the main game itself. Yeah, we had horses, but it's so slow in bringing this new stuff. Yeah, yippee-doo, we've got some new mobs coming. Which, again, yippee-doo, they're tough mobs, which... I think there's a lot of dedicated players, people that have been playing a long time, want a bit more of a challenge, and some end game monsters are good. Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
But we are slightly going off the off the question.
Well, I think that's.
Is the 24 block despawn silly and basically an exploit? I don't know what he means by that. There's something
I don't know what that
missed
is.
out on.
Yeah.
Presumably that's something. Well, again, I don't know. I can't comment on that because I don't know what that is. As far as I know, you have to be 100. I can't remember the exact numbers.
It's
124 blocks, I think. Maybe it means 124
Hmm.
blocks away, and they will despawn over time. And that is necessary just to stop the game grinding to a bloody halt.
Yeah, because if your computer can't handle it, you don't really want a ton of...
Yeah, you can run away and wait a couple of minutes and they'll despawn. Which, again, is not quite realistic. Well, picks up here. Tomato. Winter squash, lovely. But yeah, that's just a grinding.
Yeah.
Grinding the game because again, it's written in Java, which I don't know. Dinnerboard always says, "Oh yeah, you write it in C or something, you're not going to gain anything." I'm not at liberty to comment whether or not that's fact. I'm sure he knows what he's talking about more than I do, so I'll have to bow down to his better judgment on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There is something wrong when, for example, if you're playing UHC, you need to play it on a bucket server to have multiple. If we want a free-for-all, the reason we haven't done a free-for-all for so long is you have to run a bucket server because normal vanilla server can't handle having that many people spread out over the map.
Right.
Now that's a mob issue mainly,
Mm-hmm.
because it starts generating too many mob. But that's why is it that bucket can fix that and vanilla can't?
Right.
And why have they not dealt with that? And why have they not, got the code from the bucket guys and plonked there in the main game? That's the question. Should mobs have better AI? They are still really stupid and currently bugged. We kind of hit that really, didn't we?
Yeah, I think.
Don't know. Lights clearly to off. What the hell was that?
What?
I pressed the button and now
I don't know what button you hit.
I don't know what I did. Oh, I don't know. Lights clearly on.
Okay. I think that might be it.
Not detecting players that are more than 5 blocks below or above. I think they. Some running away from players. I don't think counting new bugs is fair because they are rewriting a lot of stuff at the moment. And,
Right.
yes, and new bugs are going to creep in, of course. And they will do their best to fix that, but
That's all?
yeah, mobs should have better AI. But do you want to go and write it? I think that's the key issue there.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well then I think that's probably it for the BBQ&A.
Yes, it's fun. Do send more questions, please, to us.
bajandblue@gmail.com.
Yes, we want some silly ones. We want some sensible ones.
If you're going to ask a silly question, though, please be aware that we're going to pick it apart.
Yes.
So, if we're going to be trapped in a room full of spiders, what kind of spiders? If a tiger has come into our house, how did it get in? Are the items you've given us the only items available, or do I also get all the items available in my house?
Yeah. And do let us know what the real answer to that was, if it's a legitimate question as well.
Yes. I think the answer is I use my brain and I leave. So, you're welcome to disagree.
Well, I don't think that's really in the spirit of the question, that's all. I mean, yes, you're right.
I think it's in the spirit of trying to think outside the box.
I mean, you wait for it to open its mouth and shove the pillow in it? I mean, I don't know.
That's a great idea. You're so smart.
I think the stick. I think you wave one hand, and then the other hand you hold the stick and wave that, and you can't handle two things. You laugh, but I think that's...
I think you're wrong, but let's find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, bajandblue@gmail.com. Serious questions, silly questions.
Yeah, I want to help sort your life out.
Our lives are just totally
Because you're bored
set.
of sorting our own out.
Yeah. We've got everything figured out for ourselves, so.
It's a bag of roses over here.
Yeah, anyway, that's all, and we'll see you guys later. Hopefully we'll do some more DBZ.
Yeah, I've got a couple of DBZs coming out anyway,
Yep.
because I haven't.
Pretty good.
We've got some more. I don't know when this is going out, but we've got some more build games going out on Wednesday.
Oh god, I gotta render that. Anyway, it's been good, and maybe we'll try to record another one of these before I leave, if we get enough questions.
It would be really nice if we could.
It's nice being in the same room, because I can kiss him while he's answering questions.
Yeah, that makes it much easier.
Yes. Right. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Bye.